Hey guys, Blade here, and today I bring you a new video, which is our Blade Vortex Poison. It is a very known build in 3.12. I think it was already known by many players in 3.10, where it was launched, I believe, or someone made it up. But well, it is a very nice build to start a league. I did it as my third character, I believe. And it is very nice character to play, so let's get into it. We've reached level 91 so far. For the Bandits, we've killed them all. For the Pantheon, I'm using Briny King and Gruffcool. For the Ascendancy, we're using, first of all, we've got Noxious Strike for the first lab at Act 4. And then, once you get this, you can change to Blade Vortex Poison. It will feel a lot better. Until then, you can level as any other build. I have some recommendations on my POB link on the video description, which I will show you in a moment. After that, you can get the Toxic Delivery, very nice to scale up our poison damage, opportunistic, and then last of all, Mistwalker. But it's really up to you what you're gonna choose when you're leveling, right? So here I can show you right now the POB on the video description. You can also check at the bottom left the progress of your tree. It's really suggestions, so feel free to follow a different path if you want to. And also I have a level 91 tree with and without cluster jewel. So feel free to choose whether you're gonna use a cluster jewel or not, but cluster jewels increase our damage, so it is very nice to have them. On the notes here, I have some leveling suggestion. You can level with Caustic Arrow and Toxic Rain until the Act 4, where you can get the Unleash gem, which makes the Blade Vortex gameplay a lot more comfortable. So feel free to take a look at that. And also, here you have the skill trees and the skill gems, sorry. Where you can look that up, okay? The pub will be on the video description, so feel free to take a look at that. It has lots of information, especially about the leveling. But talking about the regular jewels on the tree, the best regular jewels in my opinion are increased maximum life, increased damage over time, and increased damage with poison. But those modifiers are very, very expensive due to the popularity of this build in 3.12. I think they're around 3 exalts each. So what I did was to look for cheaper versions, which was increase the maximum life, increase the damage over time, and whatever I could get to increase the build's power. So in this case was Global Critical Strike chance, Critical Strike for spells, which also it's added to the build when you have Perfect Agony by using the Corralitos Flask. We also have multiplier here as well with damage over time and increased maximum life. Here we have same modifiers but with dexterity and intelligence, which I needed, and also some strength to add to the build, which gives us a little bit more life, right? So talking about the cluster jewels, the cluster jewel that I chose was a large cluster jewel with 8 passives, increased chaos damage with Unholy Grace, Unraveling Evil, and Wicked Ball. There is another one that gives you Unholy Might, but once again Unholy Might with Wicked Ball, which in my opinion are two amazing points, two amazing modifiers. That jewel is a lot expensive. So if you have the currency, try to get that one, but if you don't, there is a cheaper version right there. Wicked Ball gives us increased damage with increased skill factoration, increased skill damage, KO damage, and also increased chaos damage with some cast speed as well. For the medium cluster jewels, you can have up to 5 passives with increased chaos damage over time multiplier. And on both jewels, we're gonna get the Circling Oblivion and Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage gives us 18% damage over time multiplier for elements from critical strikes with 40% increased critical strike chance. And also Circling Oblivion gives us increased damage over time with increased duration of ailments. Since poison is an ailment, everything that increases the duration and the damage of it, it's very welcome for us, okay? Talking about the weapon, I'm using 2 cold iron points at the moment. It's got cheaper, so it is viable for people that don't have much currency once again. But at the start of this league, those were costing around 1 exalt. Right now, it is costing 19 chaos, 20 chaos. So it is very, very easy to get them. What you can do while you're leveling, you can level up with 2 Morden Morsus, which is in the recommendation of the PUB. Then you can get 2 obliterations. You can use those to map even in tier 16 because of the explosions. It is very nice to get the physical damages, extra chaos damage, and the 15% on both ones. What you can also do, you can have the corruption on the implicit, which is the best one. Could be the increased AoE. It will make your clear even better, so feel free to get them. Once you're done with the obliterations, you can use 1 cold iron point and 1 binos. Binos is very nice because of the increased damage over time, global critical strike multiplier, and on killing a poison enemy, nearby enemies are poisoned. This will help you clear, but seriously, it is unnecessary in my opinion. But once again, it's all up to the player. If you like the play style of the Bino and the cold iron points, or if you want to choose to use 2 obliterations to map, and then you just switch your weapons so you can use the cold iron points to kill the bosses, really, it's up to you. So yeah, maybe the best thing to do is to try those options for yourself and see what's better, right? So in my case, I'm using the 2 cold iron points, which is more than enough to clear and to do very nice single target damage. For the helmet, best option here would be the Devouring Diadem, which drops from the Katarina boss from the Betrayal. Unfortunately, the Devouring Diadem is costing around 3 exalts right now. So what I did was to find an alternative helmet. So could be a rare one with maximum life, some resist if you need, and also the enchantment with the increased Blade Vortex duration, which is nice. It's not the maximum one. The max is 30%, but 20% is welcome as well. I paid 15 chaos for this one. Also, I crafted on the suffix the increased duration of ailments that we inflict while focused. When you have any item with focus, you gain the focus skill. So once you use it, you gain every property regarding focus on your character. So increasing the duration of your ailments by almost 100%, this increases your damage by a lot. So it is very nice to get that on a rare helmet, also on a Devouring Diadem if you can. So have that in mind. For the amulet, I'm using a Chaos Dot multiplier with Global Critical Strike multiplier, because those properties are very nice to scale up our poison damage. What you can do on your anointment is use the dirty techniques. That is my suggestion, because it gives us damage over time multiplier, poison duration, and also poisons will inflict deal damage faster. It is very nice to have those. On our rings, before that, what you can also do on your amulet is to use an amulet that gives us +1 dexterity skill gems, and also +1 physical spell skill gems. You can craft that by using a Awakened Orb. It will increase your damage by a lot, since it increases the level of Blade Vortex by 2. So it is very nice to have them. On the rings, you can have one ring with full life and resists. The other one could be life, resists, and despair on hit with increased effect. It is very nice to have that because it will increase our damage by a lot. So have that in mind as well. For our gloves, I chose a cheap option, which is the Embalmer Carnal Mitts, because of the maximum life. Try to get that as high as possible. with the increased poison duration at maximum value, which is 25%. It is very nice as well for our damage. Very, very similar to a rare gloves with chaos damage over time multiplier, but in this case, these gloves cost us 5 chaos because of the 25%, so it is very nice option as well. For the boots, I'm using here one with increased movement speed, some resists, and it is very, very important that you get at least 2 pieces of your gear with energy shield because of the Eldritch battery. So it doesn't matter if you're having a rare helmet or a devouring diadem. Because of the Eldritch battery, you want to have a decent pool of energy shield. So since we are reserving all of our mana, as you can see here, all our skills are using the energy shield instead of the mana because of the Eldritch battery. Whether you're using the Devouring Diadem or a rare helmet, you want to have energy shield so you can use that in a comfort way. So our boots is a energy shield base as well, so have that in mind. What you can also do, if you have the currency, you can buy or craft one with poison damage, deals damage faster. Our belt is a very simple one with life and resists, with a dual that gives us maximum life, onslaught, and phasing. What you can also do is have a increased physical damage while dual wielding, or physical damage for spells while dual wielding. On a Abyss dual, it will increase our damage even further. For our body armor, you have the option of crafting a explosion chest if you want, like me. So here was a Awakener craft with +1 active skill gems with explosion chest, explosion modifier on a Assassin's Guard base, which is a very evasion base with increased movement speed, but you don't actually need this. Some people are playing with the Asnaf's Gentle gloves, but that gloves is costing 16 exalts, and I'm not gonna pay that price for such gloves, right? So what I did was to craft my own chest, which cost me half of the price basically. Obviously, if you're gonna buy one ready to go, it will cost more, but if you craft your items in Path of Exile for yourself, most of the time you're gonna save some currency. So in my case, I crafted my own. The rarity there disturbs me a little bit because of the mana cost, but it's more than enough to comfortably have 10 blades, cast all the Withering Stab that I need, cast the totems, Plague Bear, because they last a very nice, they have a very nice duration, so it's not a problem at all. It's even good and nice actually, because we have some rarity to kill the monsters, right? So for the flasks, we have a life flask, we have a Coralito signature. This flask is nice, gives us some very, very nice increased duration of poison we inflict during flask effects, and also grants us the Perfect Agony. Perfect Agony is this note here, modifiers to critical strike multiplier, also applied to damage over time multiplier for ailments from critical strikes at 50% of their value. That's why any multiplier that you can add to your tree will actually be useful, because they will transform themselves to damage over time multiplier at 50% of their value. So it is very nice to have this. Jade flask, but it could be any other flask that gives you freeze. I don't know, for example. I also have bleeding there. At Serious Promise with physical damage is extra chaos. Try to get as much as possible. Mine is the worst because it is 15%, so try to get 20%. And also Quicksilver for your movementation. As you can see on my build, there is plenty of space to improvement. You can improve the amulet, you can have the Carcass Jack with the Asnaf's Gentle, you can have a better Stygian Vice with chaos damage, for example. You can have a Devouring Diadem, you can add plenty of upgrades. I just wanted to give you guys a kind of budget version that could complete the end game on a very stable way. Maybe it has around 11 exalts invested. If you don't consider the explosion chest, if you consider the Carcass Jack 6 link, it has around 11 exalts invested. The explosion isn't really necessary. It's only very welcome when you're fighting against blighted maps, for example, which are cases that you actually need some very nice juicy capability of clearing all content as fast as possible, because just by using Plague Bear, it is very nice to just walk through the packs with your Withering Step on, as you could see on the clips. So it is a very nice build to start a league, because it can ramp up very quickly during the leveling and the Atlas progression, and it could be also played on a endgame basis, because if you keep investing on the build, mine has around 10 million DPS. I've seen some 40 million DPS Blade Vortex that could just delete Cyrus Awakener 8 at last phase. So it is a very nice build to play, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
What's this? A real challenge. You finally caught my attention. Low on mine.
Why run? What's the point?
Acabou meus Flasks. Agora vai ter que ser só na base do hitzinho do Focus.
The others found strength in their projections. They became reliant.
There's only horror.
E do Plague Bear, né? Que eu não ativei.
Why run? What's the point?
Pronto. Muito obrigado pelo sub. Tamo junto.
Enough to warrant all this pain.
Peraí que o chat tá bem na frente, mano. Já te agradeço.
Your lives are meaningless.
Mano, nem usei Flask, velho, na segunda e na terceira parte. Caixa de fósforo, muito obrigado, mano, pelo primeiro mês apoiando o sonho. Tamo junto.
You are nothing. Rain on star. Obliteration. Everlasting fire. Everlasting fire.
Acho que eu vou morrer porque eu tô sem Flask de vida, mano. Como eu tenho que me aproximar demais na fight, talvez poderia ter mudado o Pantheon.
Salve, P2. 2 nesse, meu querido. Vamos que vamos.
Vamos que vamos, mano. Muito obrigado pelo seu sub, já te agradeço aí de jeito. Obrigado por apoiar o sonho. E agora? Morrer.
Just need a moment to catch me.
Everlasting fire. Everlasting fire.